Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Datati Shapadantikam. We just read Shanakara Bhagavalokan Nrilokam Punaragataha Vermidja Netre Viduram Pritya Hodava Utsmayan. The great devotee Uddhava soon came back from the abode of the Lord to the human plane, and wiping his eyes, he awakened his reminiscence of the past and spoke to Vidura in a pleasing mood. We can start the purport again. When Uddhava was fully absorbed in the transcendental ecstasy of love of God, he actually forgot all about the external world. The pure devotee lives constantly in the abode of the Supreme Lord, even in the present body, which apparently belongs to this world. The pure devotee is not exactly on the bodily plane, since he is absorbed in the transcendental thought of the Supreme. When Uddhava wanted to speak to Vidura, he came down from the abode of the Lord, Dwarka, to the material plane of human beings. Even though a pure devotee is present on this mortal planet, he is here in relation to the Lord for engagement in transcendental loving service, and not for any material cause. A living entity can live either on the material plane or in the transcendental abode of the Lord in accordance with his existential condition. The conditional changes of the living entity are explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by the instructions given by Srila Rupa Goswami. So before we plunge into that, so it seems that Uddhava was actually living in the spiritual world. That's described by two verses Srila Prabhupada quotes in Upadeshamrita. The essence of it is that the devotee in his physical body serves in this world, and while in his spiritual body he may be engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord in the spiritual world. So here, Uddhava was absorbed in thought of Krishna, and so much so that he forgot about the external world, but then came back. Now, as to the conditioned living entities, the living entities all over the universes are enjoying the effects of the respective fruitive results of their own work, life after life. Out of all of them, some may be influenced by the association of pure devotees, and thus get the chance to execute devotional service by attainment of taste. This taste is the seed of devotional service, and one who is fortunate enough to have received such a seed is advised to sow it in the core of his heart. As one cultivates a seed by pouring water to fructify it, the seed of devotional service sown in the heart of the devotee may be cultured by pouring water in the form of hearing and chanting of the holy name and pastimes of the Lord. The creeper of devotional service, so nourished, gradually grows, and the devotee, acting as a gardener, goes on pouring the water of constant hearing and chanting. The creeper of devotional service gradually grows so high that it passes through the entire material universe and enters into the spiritual sky, growing still higher and higher until it reaches the planet Goloka Vrindavan. The devotee gardener is in touch with the abode of the Lord, even from the material plane, by dint of performing devotional service to the Lord simply by hearing and chanting. As a creeper takes shelter of another, stronger tree, similarly the creeper of devotional service, nourished by the devotee, takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus becomes fixed. When the creeper is fixed, then the fruit of the creeper comes into existence, and the gardener who nourished it is able to enjoy the fruit of love, and his life becomes successful. That Uddhava attained this stage is evident from his dealings. He could simultaneously reach the supreme planet and still appear in this world. This is the process of devotional service described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The conditioned souls wander around in this world until they're fortunate enough to get the seed of devotional service by the association of an advanced devotee. Then if they take that seed, plant it in their heart, pour water in the form of hearing and chanting, then they can make further progress up to the stage of perfection. Any questions so far?
This type of remembrance, like if we remember like Prabhupada's activities, is the same effect? Prabhupada's pastime, if we remember, is the same effect as Krishna's pastimes?
Yeah, remembering pastimes of Krishna and remembering the pastimes of Krishna's devotees, both are purifying. Both are on the transcendental plane.
Also, like when due to Prabhupada's instruction, we are distributing books. So we are in the same consciousness. Like when we are distributing books, is it pastime of Prabhupada's expansion?
Well, it's not the same. It's different, but it's on one plane. It's the same. These are all spiritual instructions. These are all spiritual. Manifestations of devotional service. So you can say it's absolute. There's different tastes and different what can we say? When Uddhava was remembering the pastimes of the Lord, he wasn't thinking about what he was going to do in this world for saving conditioned souls or speaking the glories of the Lord. He was absorbed in a different subject matter. But there's no difference. But still there's a difference. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his activities are different from the activities of Radha and Krishna. And yet, from another point of view, there's no difference. But if we just say that there's no difference, then we deny the particular taste of Mahaprabhu's pastimes or the particular purpose and nature of his pastimes. And if we just say that they're different, then and we don't acknowledge that they're the same, then we miss from another way. So they're Is that okay? They're the same, but they have different characteristics or different natures or tastes. But there's a famous story during Prabhupada's time, one of the BBT trustees, Rameshwar Prabhu, who was in charge of the BBT in Los Angeles, was saying that by going on Sankirtan and distributing books, you're participating in a pastime comparable to that of Krishna and the gopis, where the gopis are engaging others in the service of the Lord. So he was promoting that idea. And quite several devotees in Los Angeles thought that was over the top, that it was too much. And they brought it to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada confirmed that it was correct. Anything else?
This is a question from like 2 days back, 13th class. 2 days before. I was like, that time was mentioning like about the Kurukshetra war discussion was there.
Kurukshetra?
War of the Kurukshetra. So like this guy, like Lord has mentioned like everything is destined. Like
Everything is what?
Destined. Like who are going to live and who is going to die.
Yeah.
Who will get the glories.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing somewhat applicable in the preaching mission also. Like who is going to become devotee.
Yeah.
And who will get the
Everything is already there. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Pritivite yata che nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoy bemorna. So, in every village and town, my name will be known. So, Prabhupada said that means it's already decided. So, if you like, you can preach and get the credit. Otherwise, someone else will do it. But it's already decided.
Individual soul also already is like selected, like who will become devotee. Like individual soul is also already like selected, like the soul person who will become or who will accept or who will not accept Krishna consciousness. Is it like then?
Somehow or other, everything is scripted. Questions of destiny are not so easy to answer. What's destiny and what's an interference with or introduction in destiny? From one point of view, you can say it's meant to happen. Therefore, Krishna put you there at that place at that time. Otherwise, Krishna can arrange someone else. From that point of view, we shouldn't be very proud. I made this many devotees, I did this, I did that. Krishna is the doer, not us. We only contribute. Anything else? Uddhava vacha Krishna Jumani Nimloche Girnesh Vajagarena ha Kim Nuna Kushalam Bruyam Gatashrishu Griheshvaham. Sri Uddhava said, "My dear Vidura, the sun of the world, Lord Krishna, has set, and our house has now been swallowed by the great snake of time. What can I say to you about our welfare?" Purport: the disappearance of the Krishna sun may be explained as follows, according to the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vidura was struck with great sorrow when he got the hint of the annihilation of the great Yadu dynasty, as well as of his own family, the Kuru dynasty. Uddhava could understand the grief of Vidura, and therefore he first of all wanted to sympathize with him by saying that after the sunset, everyone is in darkness. Since the entire world was merged in the darkness of grief, neither Vidura nor Uddhava nor anyone else could be happy. Uddhava was as much aggrieved as Vidura, and there was nothing further to be said about their welfare. So, what can I say to you about our welfare? Our house has been swallowed by the great snake of time. The sun of the world has set. So these are all expressions of grief and separation from Krishna. And Prabhupada points out that Uddhava and Vidura were both feeling the same way. The comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. But the darkness experienced by the common man does not affect the sun itself, either at the time of sunrise or of sunset. Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of the sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he passes away is put into darkness. His pastimes, however, are everlasting. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present in either the eastern or the western hemisphere. The sun is always present either in India or in America, but when the sun is present in India, the American land is in darkness, and when the sun is present in America, the Indian hemisphere is in darkness. So this is Krishna's Nitya Leela, Nitya, always going on somewhere. We may not see it. When Krishna disappears, it's no longer manifest before us, but it's manifest elsewhere. So for the sun, there's no question of appearing or disappearing. The sun is always there. But for us, we sometimes see the sun and sometimes don't. As the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian, and then again sets in one hemisphere, while simultaneously rising in the other, so Lord Krishna's appearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another take place simultaneously. As soon as one pastime is finished here, it's manifested in another universe. And thus his Nitya Leela, or eternal pastimes, are going on without ending. As the sunrise takes place once in 24 hours, the pastimes of Lord Krishna take place in the universe once in a daytime of Brahma, an account of which is given in the Bhagavad Gita as 4,300,000,000 solar years. But wherever the Lord is present, all his different pastimes as described in the revealed scriptures take place at regular intervals. So everything is, Putin is killed here, then Putin is killed in the next universe, then Putin is killed in the universe after that, and so on. As at sunset, the snakes become powerful, thieves are encouraged, ghosts become active, the lotus becomes disfigured, and the Chakravarti laments. So with the disappearance of Lord Krishna, the atheists feel enlivened, and the devotees become sorry. Any question? Comment?
Is it possible that the same pastime is occurring at the same time in different universes?
Can the same pastime be going on in different universes at the same time? Well, what's stated, everything's possible, of course, but what's stated here is that Krishna finishes one and starts the next, that everything's in rotation. The way we get the sun moving through sunrise, noon, sunset in different parts of the world. That's the description given here.
So, speaking generally, is it possible for Krishna to be present at two different material universes at the same time?
Yeah. But the way it's indicated here would be in different stages of his pastimes. So his babyhood pastimes are finished here, and he has his youthful pastimes, but meanwhile the babyhood pastimes are going on in the next universe, like that.
In different universes, they are born with Vrindavan in every universe.
Mm-hmm.
This pastime of childhood of Krishna It's only present in the Bhaum Vrindam.
Yeah. In the spiritual world, there are no childhood pastimes. Yes.
Living entities participating in Krishna's pastimes in different universes, they are same or different, just like Putna killed in this universe.
No, they can be the same. Of course, Krishna can have different staff members, but as far as I know, but there's nothing stopping them from being the same. When Krishna was touring one time, he got 2 invitations, one from Bahulashva and one from Shrutadev. One was a king, one was a Brahmin. And Krishna was, all right, no problem to accept 2 invitations. I'll just expand in 2 forms and accept both. But Krishna was traveling with a whole batch of sages, and they did the same thing. By Krishna's arrangement, they all expanded themselves in 2 and accompanied Krishna to both places. So these things are possible. Okay.
It's like Krishna's Nitya Leela, like some are 1 year, 1 month, some are 1 year, 2 months, some are 1 year, 3 months, some are 1 year, 5 months. So is mother also in the same expanding in different places, like 1 year, 1 month, Mother Jashoda with Krishna. So 1 year, 6 months, another mother with Jashoda.
I haven't heard that. As far as I know, there's the same Yashoda Mai, the same Nanda Maharaj, same everyone. I haven't seen any mention that in one universe he recruits one mother, and another universe he recruits another mother. Okay. Yes.
So I heard from His Grace Janani Mahaprabhu that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtana Leela is still going on, which is sometimes manifest in different stories of both distribution.
Different. You want to close that door? Tell me again.
Sankirtan pastimes of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still going on, and they are sometimes even manifest as book as stories of book distribution. Is it so? If it is so, then
Well, there's 2 things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are also moving through different universes. That's one thing. Then the other thing is that our ISKCON activities, or the spreading of the Sankirtan movement, are also manifestations of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, you can say.
these pastimes, this ISKCON activities, these pastimes, are these eternal pastimes?
I haven't seen that, first in this universe, Tamal Krishna Goswami takes sannyas, then in the next universe, Tamal Krishna Goswami takes sannyas. I haven't seen anything to that effect. But whatever goes on here, as the extension of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, is on the spiritual platform. Is that okay?
So the range stays until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The range of Sankirtan pastimes, repeat them in different universes.
The range?
Of Sankirtan pastimes that repeat themselves in different universes. The range of Sankirtan pastimes,
That,
which repeats itself
yeah.
in different universes, can be taken up to the time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passes.
Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes have a beginning and an end. There's Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Antya Lila, then his pastimes are over. And those pastimes are going on in different places. Now, what happens after the Antya Lila is also an extension of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, but I haven't seen any statement to the effect that those same activities go on from universe to universe. No, I haven't seen that. You know that we'll be sitting, now we're sitting here in Ujjain, just discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, but 5 minutes from now, the same batch of us will be in another universe discussing the same verse. I haven't seen anything to that effect. Durbago bataloko yam yadavo nitaram api ye sam vasanto navidur harim mina evodupam. This universe with all its planets is most unfortunate, and even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead any more than the fish could identify the moon. So this is an expression of transcendental ecstatic feelings, that the Yadavas are unfortunate, more unfortunate than the universe with all its planets are the Yadu dynasty. So this is an expression of transcendental lamentation. Uddhava lamented for the unfortunate persons of the world who could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna in spite of seeing all his transcendental godly qualities. From the very beginning of his appearance within the prison bars of King Kamsa up to his Mausala Leela, although he exhibited his potencies as the personality of Godhead in the 6 opulences of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, the foolish persons of the world could not understand that he was the Supreme Lord. They might have thought him an ordinary historic figure because they had no intimate touch with him, but more unfortunate were the family members of the Lord, the members of the Yadu dynasty, who were always in company with the Lord, but were unable to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhava lamented his own fortune also, because although he knew Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not properly use the opportunity to render devotional service to the Lord. He regretted everyone's misfortune, including his own. The pure devotee of the Lord thinks himself most unfortunate. That is due to excessive love for the Lord, and is one of the transcendental perceptions of viraha, the suffering of separation. The Yadavas might have thought that Krishna was the super soul, or in some other way, actually it's commented that way, that they thought that the super soul has appeared as Krishna. They didn't have a full understanding. Yogamaya Samavrita. By Yogamaya, Krishna is partially revealed and partially concealed. It's learned from the revealed scriptures that the moon was born from the milk ocean. Then Prabhupada has an extended discussion of how those who have no experience may not believe this, just as a person who's only drinking cow urine has no sense of what cow milk is. for some liver problem, they may drink cow urine. And then if you tell them about cow milk, they say, cow milk? I don't believe it. So, men who have experience only of this tiny planet, where the saltwater ocean exists, may take information from the revealed scriptures that there's also an ocean of milk, although we've never seen it. So the moon was born from this ocean of milk, and the fish may have thought, oh, the moon is something like us. But they couldn't fully understand it. The unfortunate persons who do not recognize Lord Krishna are like such fish. Avajananti mam mudha manashim tanamashita. Any questions here? Okay. I guess you can open the door again. It's going to be really super warm in here with that door closed all the time. Okay. Ingata gya puru praudha eka rama sattvataha sattvatam rishabham sarve bhuta vasam amamsata. The Yadus were all experienced devotees, learned and expert in psychic study. Over and above this, they were always with the Lord in all kinds of relaxations. And still, they were only able to know Him as the One Supreme who dwells everywhere. So Prabhupada, in the Vedas it is said that the Supreme Lord, or Paramatma, cannot be understood simply by the strength of one's erudition or power of mental speculation. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shutena katu Upanishad. He can be known only by the one who has the mercy of the Lord. The Yadavas were all exceptionally learned and experienced, but in spite of their knowing the Lord as the one who lives in everyone's heart, they could not understand that He is the original personality of Godhead. This lack of knowledge was not due to their insufficient erudition, it was due to their misfortune. In Vrindavan, however, the Lord was not even known as the Paramatma, because the residents of Vrindavan were pure, unconventional devotees and could think of Him only as their object of love. They did not know that He is the personality of Godhead. The Yadus accepted Lord Krishna as the super soul incarnated in their family, and not more than that. So these are different, again, manifestations of Krishna's Yogamaya potency. The Yadus are called unfortunate because they didn't recognize Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You could say that the Vrindavanites were more unfortunate. They didn't even recognize Him as the Super Soul. But actually they're the most fortunate because they get to taste the full sweetness of Krishna's Vrindavan activities. Any questions? Yes?
So with the Yadu dynasty, were most of the people of the Yadu dynasty, were they mixed, were they, was their position secure? Because it seems like they were...
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
It seems like that these people of the Yadu dynasty were only Paramatma realized. So was their position secure?
It's not that they were only Paramatma realized, because the yogis, they're Paramatma realized, but they don't have dealings of service with the Paramatma. The Yadus were, what is that? They were dealing with Krishna like an intimate friend. He was their king. He was there in so many ways. They were dealing with Krishna. For some he was the father, for some he was so many different relationships. But their understanding of him was that he was the Paramatma. Maybe the Paramatma, just like the Brajbasis are thinking, maybe one of the demigods has taken birth as our child, as Krishna. They don't, it's hidden from them that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to facilitate the pastimes. So the Yadus, they have a little more understanding of the greatness of the Lord, because the Brajbasis, they'd never think that Krishna is the Paramatma. They don't think that way. He's my son, that's all. He's my friend. But in Dwarka, they sometimes think that actually the Paramatma himself, the soul of all souls, has appeared as Krishna. So they have more understanding of Krishna's power, of his greatness. That's there. But they're not just Paramatma realized, their relationship is with the personality of Godhead. But they're seeing the personality of Godhead as the Paramatma. Prabhupada gave the example that how one may think that he at one time was keeping his little son on his lap, and the son is kicking and everything. And some godbrother was there and said to the son that, "Oh, you're kicking a great Vaishnava? What is this?" And the son said, "He's not a Vaishnava, he's my father." So in that way.
Is there a particular significance of using the phrase expert in psychic studies?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a significance to it. I think Ingata. Ingatagya, expert in psychic study. Let's see if there's any comment on that. Ingita means. Ingita, knowers of Ingita.
In Sanskrit, Ingit means just indication.
See?
Ingit means indication.
Indication. Indication.
Understood by some indication.
Let's see. Ingita. Let's see if there's anything more about that. It's too hard to find things in this little phone dictionary. Ingita. Oh. Nengate sopamasmrita yoginas. So what is that? The 6th chapter? We have a Bhagavad Gita behind me? I think there is. Maybe not. So how is Ingita rendered? Na Ingita?
Na means does not, Ingata means waver.
Waver, huh? Okay. It appears to, at least from the context here, it appears to have to do with the mind and knowing what's going on with somebody's mind. Psychology or maybe mind reading. Psychic study. I don't think it means that they were like parapsychologists or something like that. But they could understand the mind of someone else. Ingita. Anything else? Yes.
Would that be a quality of a pure devotee? In the pure devotional sense, how would that be a quality of a devotee? That they were expert in psychology? Is that what you're saying?
Prabhupada said that anyone can. Of course, here it says the yadus. The point here is that the yadus were expert in understanding the minds of others, but they couldn't understand that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the point. That's the point. They were erudite, puru prodha. I think that's what's said. Puru prodha, highly experienced, but still they couldn't get it. Yes.
Finally, they could almost read minds by this statement. If we consider that they could almost read minds, so why did they offend the sages that led to the eventual?
Why didn't they?
Offend? They were joking with the sages and they got cursed, which led to the eventual.
That was also Krishna's pastime. If they were so great, why did they do this? I mean, they were cultivated people, they were cultured, they were highly advanced as Krishna's family members. You'd think they'd know how to properly treat sages, how to respect great sages. But instead they went before the sages and dressed Samba like a pregnant woman and said, she wants to know, is it going to be a boy or a girl? What is she going to give birth to? And the sages understood that these Yadu Kumars are pulling our leg, they're teasing us. They said, she'll give birth to a lump of iron and it'll destroy your dynasty. So that was Krishna's arrangement. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, he garlanded the sage, Shamik Rishi, with a snake. So why did he do that? He was a great king, he was a great devotee. Kings don't garland rishis with snakes, tit for tat, and certainly great Mahabhagavata devotees don't do that. So it was arranged by Krishna so that we'd hear Srimad Bhagavatam, actually. So Krishna had, now his pastimes are over, but he's got this whole Yadu dynasty still here. This big thousands of that, Krishna had 16,108 wives. Each wife had 10 children, then they had their children. How many people were in this Yadu dynasty? So it has to go. When Krishna leaves, just like in Shakespeare, sometimes at the end of the play, all the dead bodies are there at the end. This one kills that one, and that one kills this one, and then that way the whole play is ended up, So the Yadu dynasty has to go. But how can you get rid of them? You can't put them in a war against someone because they're the most powerful. They'll win. So it was arranged that they'd fight among themselves, and that way they'd disappear. Teaching several lessons at once. Where are we? Okay, we have a few minutes more. Devasya mayaya sprishta ye chanyad asadashritaha brahmyate dhir natad vakyar atmanyuptatmano haro. Under no circumstances can the words of persons bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. Now that's a great verse. Devasya, Maya, the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sprishta, infects everyone. Ye cha anyad asat ashrita, it infects everyone who's taken shelter of the illusory energy. Brahmyate dhi na tat vakyai atmani upta atmana hado, but not those who are surrendered devotees. This is the sign of a first-class devotee. A third-class devotee is defined as someone who has kamala shraddha. Kamala shraddha means pliable faith. By good association, by hearing the philosophy, by chanting Hare Krishna, he's persuaded to join the association of devotees and take up devotional service. But someone with some opposing arguments can bewilder him. That why are you worshiping Krishna? Shiva is equally good. Why are you doing these things? You've really lost the thread here. This is just a strange thing. You're wasting your life when you could be out there making money in the software industry. You're chanting Hare Krishna and spoiling your time. And then he starts to think, because he's a neophyte, his faith is not strong, and he's not strong in scriptural knowledge. So therefore he can be deviated. But a Madhyamadikari devotee has more knowledge and stronger faith. Because his knowledge is not complete, he also may sometimes be confronted with arguments that he can't answer. But still he doesn't give up. He doesn't think, oh yeah, maybe I should take to something else, maybe art of living or something easier. He doesn't give up. He knows if there's some point I didn't get, I can get it. Because he has more knowledge and he has stronger faith. And the first-class devotee has unshakable faith and extensive knowledge of Shastra. So he's not defeated. All right. Anything else? Going once? Yes?
This is like related to the consciousness question is there, but it's not related to the topic.
A question not related to the topic. Just a question.
Related to the consciousness.
Well, since it's 2:00 and your question is not related to the topic, this class is officially closed. Hare Krishna.